Hey guys, welcome to Cameras and Cats. Today we're talking about the Kodak Brownie Hawkeye camera. It is a 620 box camera from the 1950s. It's really cute and super fun to use. I just took it on a trip to Kauai with me, so I'm going to show you all my favorite photos from my trip. So stay tuned. So here is the camera. It's really cute. It's very small, very lightweight, which I always love. It's from the 1950s, which when I found that out, I was kind of amazed because this is in pretty good condition. It is a 620 box camera, which means it takes 620 film, which they don't make anymore. So you have to buy 120 film that has been wound onto a 620 spool, or you can do it yourself if you get an old 620 spool, or they make new ones now too. But you can go into a dark space and wind it yourself. For me, I went and bought a roll from Blue Moon Camera in Portland, Oregon, and they had wound it for me onto a 620 spool. So I bought it there. And then I took it with us to Kauai on our trip for our 5-year wedding anniversary. And I shot my very first roll with this camera. If you know or follow me, you know that I really like very simple cameras. The Holga is like my favorite one. But lately I've been wanting something different, like almost something more ghostly and like blurred out, like vignetted, like something that's even more messed up, I guess. Like lately have been wanting something less perfect. So I knew this camera would kind of give me a little bit of what I'm looking for. Very easy to use. Put the film in, press the shutter button, you wind it to the next frame. That's literally it. This also has a bulb setting, so you can lift this up and hold down the shutter button as long as you want and do like a long exposure. So unfortunately it doesn't have a tripod socket, so people don't really recommend doing that unless you're like on a very steady surface and like very in control. But otherwise, like I would just recommend using the regular shutter. This is the flash model, so it has like some different connections for connecting a flash, and you can buy like a side flash that's pretty cute. So I might do that at some point and try that out. This camera uses a waist level viewfinder, which means you have to look down into the photo, and it's actually backwards of what you're seeing, so you have to kind of work with that. And this is the first time I've ever actually done that, so that was also a learning experience. It took me like forever to compose my shots, and I was trying to be very careful. Like it took me like 10 minutes to take my first one because I was so nervous. But it turned out and it worked, and I actually feel like I got used to it pretty quickly. And it's kind of nice because you can sneak attack people. Like there's this guy sitting like on a wall on the beach, and I was like, pointing my camera at him, but he had no idea because, I'm looking down. So that's actually really nice because I'm so used to people, like I feel like people know when I'm taking their picture because I'm like looking directly at them. But it's so nice that you can be inconspicuous with this, so that's really fun. So I wasn't actually sure if this camera was going to work. Everything was fine. I like watched a YouTube video, figured out how to load the film, and I shot the roll and I was winding it, and then I got to the end and I was trying to switch out the rolls, and then the roll was completely stuck. Like we tried to pry it out, we could not get it out. It was like we used a key, we ended up bending our room key for our hotel, and I couldn't get it out. So I had to give up and only got to shoot one roll of film on this while we were in Kauai. But when I got home, I got a screwdriver and like pried it out, and I ended up breaking off a little piece of plastic in here, but I think it'll still work. But anyway, it was a nightmare. So definitely do not use a 120 film roll in at least the bottom take-up spool because it was like so stuck. So that was a learning experience for sure. But I actually love how the photos turned out. I'm going to show you my whole entire first roll from the Brownie camera. Some of the things I love about this camera so far are it's super easy to travel with. It's very lightweight. It's, like the plastic is super thick. You can't really break it. Well, I guess I broke it, but you can't really you could drop this and it'll be fine. But it also does double exposures, which if you follow me, you know that that's like something I absolutely have to have with the camera. And this you can do multiple exposures. You can take as many as you want. The shutter button, you just push as many times as you want, and then you just wind the film when you're ready to advance to the next frame. The other nice thing about this camera is it is super cheap. You can get it on eBay for like literally $5 to $20. I cannot believe it's that cheap, honestly. I mean, I think this camera is so fun. It has such a cool like vintage look to it. It looks cute like on your shelf. I actually have quite a few of them. People have just given them to me over the years, and this one I just grabbed. Like literally I could have picked any of them before I left on my trip and thrown them in the bag, but this was the one I went for. And I honestly was kind of scared of using these for the longest time. I think because they are so old, and I was like, there's no way I can figure out like how to use those. But I also knew they were simple. They were like, you know, just literally a shutter and a button and that's it. But I was just terrified. I don't know why. Taking my very first picture with the Brownie camera. So we'll see how this goes.
Done.
Scary.
Is that scary?
I'm just glad that I finally got to try this because I love the photos I took. I wish that I shot the color roll too, but it's fine. I'll do it next time. I'm definitely going to take it on like all my future trips, which that's not really what I need. I don't really need another camera in my bag, but I'm probably going to take it anyway. I just love like the vintage, like dreamy, surreal kind of cloudy vibe that you get. And I read online that some people actually flip the lens inside the camera and they get even dreamier images, like more foggy and like less crisp. So I might end up switching, like flipping the lens and seeing how that turns out, because that sounds really fun. Well, that's it. This camera is really fun. You guys should definitely pick one up, especially because it's so cheap, and try it out yourself. Try some double exposures, try some 120 film, and spool it onto a 620 roll. And yeah, just have fun with it.
Man, that's as big as they get right there.
Okay, I'm going to do another one.
So what did we see at the Grand Canyon?
Just a slightly big canyon. You took it.
Took it. Crazy. We'll see how that turns out.
Mm-hmm.
No.
There. Pretty big effing waterfall. Straight out of a Indiana Jones film. What are you doing up there? You did it. Actually, a movie called Jurassic Park. What are you going to do? Over here? God is bright. Shooting a pic with a brownie. Do you like brownies? 1, 2, 3.
Have fun using it?
Yeah, it was kind of fun. She's sick and she might die, but at least she has a sushi burrito, except it's just a veggie burrito.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and be nice. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can follow me on Instagram at MilesCatherine, at The Traveling Holga, at Cameras and Cats. You can check out my Patreon if you like my photos and want to help support buying film because it's very expensive. And have a great day. Thanks so much. Help.
You were just saying it 5 seconds ago.
Embarrassing. I have anxieties. I do not want vodka.
It's flavored.
I don't even want that. It looks like a waste of my liver.
Down the hatch.
So I sound stupid.
That was great.
I have to sneeze.
What happened right then?
Painful. Help me.
Talk about how you have to use the 620 thing.
Which this is the first time I've help me.